Yo, what's going on? It's your main man, Rick the Dawn. Hey, welcome, yo. So I want to talk about this matchup. I cannot believe we got this matchup. This is almost like the unofficial championship for me personally. We know that these two people have had a storied rivalry throughout history, and it's just great to see them back in the same arena on the same floor once again. This episode is brought to you by the Really Hood Podcast. Check it out. Let's get into it, man. First off, I want to make sure I provide some context about what I think about these two players. I think that LeBron James is a historical talent. I think Stephen Curry is the exact same. And I think it is very important that the first thing I get out the way is my top 10 NBA players all times list, because I just want to get that out the way. Don't ask me why. Okay, here we go. Let me just jump in because I don't want to irritate some people with this. My top 10 NBA players of all time are number 10, Larry Bird, 3 championships. Number 9, Stephen Curry with 4 championships. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal with 4 championships. Number 7, LeBron James with 4 championships. Number 6, Tim Duncan, 5 championships. Number 5, Kobe Bryant, 5 championships. Number 4, Magic Johnson, 5 championships. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 6 championships. Number 2, Michael Jordan, 6 championships. And number 1, Bill Russell. I wanted to get that out the way because I know a lot of people, when they're watching sports, people talking about sports, just want to know where they're coming from. That's where I'm coming from. Championships are the greatest barometer. Championships are the only thing that transcend different eras. Some eras had this many players, this many teams. Some eras had the 3-point line. The only thing that's consistent across all eras is championships. And don't give me that, LeBron James has all these different accolades. He's the scoring champion. That didn't seem to matter when Kareem was the scoring champion, did it? Kareem has 6 championships, which is 2 more championships than LeBron James, and the scoring title for like a decade plus, and no one ever called him the GOAT. So I don't think that that's the necessary barometer. And I understand a lot of people love LeBron James. I like to call it great marketing on the part of LeBron James's teams. Also, even with Michael Jordan, great marketing. But make no mistake, I'm not that person. I'm not someone that can be swayed with marketing or what have you, or different little tactics and tricks. I look at the greatest barometer possible. When you if you're an NBA player, what is the ultimate goal every year? It's to win a championship. Nobody is suiting up in an NBA uniform to, win a scoring record, or technically they are, but the point is, no one's doing that more so than trying to win a chip every year. I know he's been a lot, LeBron. I know he's been to the championship a lot of times, but it's real simple. It's not about how many times you get there; it's how many times you win it. And anybody who disagree, I don't know we agree to disagree. Okay. When it comes to LeBron James versus Stephen Curry, let's talk about that as well. First off, here it is. Regular season rivalry, LeBron James and Stephen Curry are dead even, 10-10, okay? As far as postseason is concerned, LeBron James is actually down, okay? Stephen Curry has won 15 to LeBron James's 7 times. Who knew that, okay? When it comes to the postseason, Stephen Curry has won 8 more times than LeBron James, and they're 1v1 or team versus team matchup. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Now, we're going to also talk about this year, this season rather. LeBron James, in terms of his stats, he has 28.9 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 6.8 assists, and that's over 55 games in the regular season. Stephen Curry, 29.4 points, 6.1 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and that is over 56 games. All right, I just wanted to get all the logistical stuff out of the way, and now we can have some fun with the conversation. All right, who you got? I don't know. This is not scripted. This is live, and I really wanted to do this live just in case anybody was like wanting to jump in the conversation, but I don't know, man. I'm really excited about these two matching up. And I'll put it like this, and just go back to my list a little bit. So if you wasn't paying attention, I have LeBron James 7 and Stephen Curry 9 in terms of all times list. And I'm just going to put it out there. If either of these two, Stephen Curry or LeBron James, win a championship this year, without question, they go above the other person. Okay, I know LeBron James is technically already over Stephen Curry in my list and many other people's lists, but I'm going to just say something that might be controversial. If Stephen Curry beats LeBron James in this series, then goes on to win another championship, which would give him 5, in my book, he will be better than LeBron James. And that's it. I don't want to argue. Let me tell you why. Because LeBron James would have allowed someone to get 5 rings in their era. LeBron James would allow Stephen Curry to get 5 championships while he's supposed to be the greatest of all time. How can you be the greatest of all time if your contemporary has won more championships against you? Right? They went through you for just about every championship, if not all of them, in most of them, right? In every scenario, they went through your team. So how is your team better, or how are you better than this team's leader or captain? I wouldn't agree with that. Okay, I think that if Stephen Curry was to pull this off, he would be first off, he would move up significantly in my list. Okay, I don't think he overtakes Magic Johnson necessarily. I'm not sure if I would put him above Kobe yet. I would probably put him in spot number 6 where I have Tim Duncan. I would feel comfortable with saying that he's better than Tim Duncan. I'm not sure I would feel comfortable putting him over Magic and Kobe. All right, so if Stephen Curry was to win a championship this year, I would put him in. He would go from number 9 to number 6 on my list. If LeBron James was to win the championship this year, he would go from 7, and I would put him at number 4 above Magic Johnson. I think he's had the type of career that warrants him being above Magic Johnson. Now, in terms of records, I know somebody's really irritated right now. So in terms of records and all these different accolades, how many all-time scoring records, all that kind of stuff. For me, in the way that I see the game, that is just seasoning. That's just what makes the record that makes your career look better. That's accolades. That's seasoning, but it's not the steak. All right, if you're going to eat a plate of food, the most assist leader, that's seasoning. The most 3-pointers, that's seasoning. NBA scoring record, but the steak is the championships, right? And according to history and according to present day, LeBron James has 4 steaks on his plate. You think I'm not gonna put LeBron James above someone like Bill Russell when he has 4 steaks on his plate, and Bill Russell has 11 steaks. Okay. Now, I know what your argument is. I already know. I've heard it before. Well, it's different eras. It was a different era. That's not Bill Russell's fault that he played in a different era. You can only beat who's on the floor against you. In about 50 years, they'll be saying LeBron James was too big because, all the players could be slim now. Now that maybe in the future, the new thing would be to be really, really slim, like Stephen Curry. That's that kind of build, right? So LeBron James is real big. He was bullying people. Or maybe even in the future, this is more likely. Maybe in the future, every player is as big as LeBron James. In about 60 years, every player is a behemoth. They're huge. They're giant. They're fast. So then it's like, well, no, LeBron James is only playing against small people like Stephen Curry. That's why he got those 4 rings. Is that LeBron James's fault? No, he played who was on the floor. He played who was birthed in that particular generation, and he deserves his credit. Same thing with Bill Russell. Bill Russell deserves his credit. He played who was in front of him. He won 11 championships. That's why he's the greatest of all time in my book. All right, even above Michael Jordan, even above. All right, the GOAT himself. Like I said, I personally like Michael Jordan more than everybody, but that's just marketing. Whoever did his marketing did an amazing job. Sometimes I dream that he is me. That's marketing. That's not necessarily the stake. The stake is championships, and Michael Jordan has 6. Now, as far as this matchup between LeBron James and Stephen Curry, where am I at with this? I don't know, man. This is such a crazy thing. The Lakers are suffocating in terms of defense. The Warriors are very volatile in terms of their productivity every night from night to night. But I will say this: whoever wins this matchup will be the definitive better, like this is like the definitive matchup right here, because like I said, they're 10-10 in terms of regular season play, 15-7, but still, I feel like LeBron James and the Cavaliers beating that Warriors team that they beat and came back from 3-1, I feel like that put LeBron James firmly above Stephen Curry. But I think that Stephen Curry can narrow the gap, if not surpass LeBron James in their individual head-to-head matchups, if Stephen Curry is able to beat LeBron James this year. And it's not like LeBron James is having a bad season. He's just as strong as he's ever been. And if Stephen Curry is able to go through LeBron James's Lakers and then go on and win a championship, it's not even a question for me. He will be above LeBron James on my radar, in my standings. Okay. As far as prediction, who do I think will actually win? This is a tough question. If I had to give you a pick right this second, something tells me that Stephen Curry and the Warriors will pull this off. And I don't know when the game, like with game 6, game 7, I'm not sure about that part. If I had to guess, it would probably be games like a 7-game series. I don't see LeBron James going down easy. And I just think the Warriors got them, man. They have, in my opinion, more depth. You got Draymond playing at an all-time level right now. Clay is starting to heat back up again. He's starting to become old Clay. Stephen Curry just put up 50 against the Kings. Like, Stephen Curry is on a whole other level right now. Then they have this incredibly deep bench. They got Looney. They got Gary Payton Jr. They got Poole. They just have so much depth. And I always said this. I always knew that they were playing possum in a regular season, and that the minute the playoffs got here, they would start to win on the road, and they proved that they can do that. Whereas the Lakers, I feel like they've been playing possum as well. But in terms of depth, I don't know if they have it. I feel like you have Reeves, you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis. I believe you have Monk. He's kind of streaky, though. Then you have Rui. You got some guys on that team, too. So that's what makes this matchup so compelling, and this is why I say it is the unofficial championship, because I don't think the finals will be as interesting as this matchup here. Okay, but if I had to pick, I'm going Warriors, but that's very, very begrudgingly. I'm not two hands, 2 feet sold on that pick, but I personally think that the Warriors will pull it off. I think that the Warriors will go deep in this season, but I've been wrong before. I mean, I'm the guy who said the Bucks was going to win this year, so I don't know what's going on anymore. I concede as it relates to predicting winners, but that's just my hunch. But I will say this as as a contrary. If LeBron James goes through Steph Curry, I don't know if it's even a debate anymore whether or not Steph Curry has a chance or even a shout as it relates to the comparison between him and LeBron James. I think if LeBron James beats Stephen Curry this year, even if he doesn't win a championship, I think it's pretty much solidified, especially if Stephen Curry doesn't bring home a ring this year. But that would all change immediately if Stephen Curry were to grab at least 1 or 2 more rings, because I think LeBron James may retire over the next 3 years, right? Anyway, but if LeBron James goes on to win a championship this year, needless to say, he skyrockets up my top 10 from 7 to 4. Okay, I can't put him above Kareem, even with the scoring title. I don't believe in just erasing errors because a new error is hot or a new era is before me. I think we have to respect those who come before, because they laid the groundwork for the players we're watching today. Like I said, in 60 years, we'll have a ton of Zion Williamsons, a ton of LeBron James, but that doesn't necessarily negate the fact that LeBron James dominated his era. And I feel like the same thing for Bill Russell. He was a winner, man. He was a winner. No matter how you slice it, he won 11 rings. Okay, that's it. And he could only play who was put on the floor against him. All right, because there's a lot of other players in that same exact era who don't have 11 rings. You want to know why? Because he has them all. And I think that he deserves some credit. Bill Russell, I'm talking about. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll be watching every game this series. I think this is a great series. I'm so happy this happened. And yeah, that's all I got, man. Check it out. Holla at your main man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.